6 minutes into high tension, a suspicious man in an equally suspicious truck appears to be receiving what some might call head. He then chucks the literal head out the window. It was at this moment that I suddenly felt like I was being watched. Oh, wackadoo! From this point on, you get the sense that anything can happen and that it's going to be a wild ride. Well, you wouldn't be wrong. One of the more well-known entries in the new French Extreme movement, High Tension is a relatively simple slasher film on the surface, remembered for its imaginative and vicious kill scenes. Two young friends, Alex and Marie, are travelling to Alex's parents for a quick trip. There's already a little drama, as our protagonist Marie is having surreal dreams. But what do you expect when you adopt the Rosemary's Baby haircut?
This is no dream, this is really happening!
She also clearly wants to be more than just chums with Alex, leading to bitter conversations and late-night snooping. But of course, the real drama arrives in the form of a very malevolent stranger, who is seemingly hunting at random. Not too much of a shocker, it's not a new French Extremity film until a rural farmhouse turns into a bloodbath. What is shocking is the violence. This guy scoffs in the face of Michael Myers' boring butcher knife style. He'd rather take the time to wedge a dude between some banisters, and then decapitate him with a goddamn cupboard. Creativity of this ilk is mandatory in separating worthwhile slashers from the chaff, doubly so when the effects is so delightfully gruesome. The makeup and special effects was overseen by Gianetto De Rossi, a veteran of the industry, boasting such notable credits as Zombie 2 and City of the Living Dead. Even when the kills are less innovative, like the Jack Torrance special seen here, the film always goes an extra step to make you audibly say, "Ugh." But violence alone does not form a good horror movie. The blood-soaked payoffs require suitable build-up, and that is this film's other strength. High Tension certainly lives up to its name. A large chunk of the runtime is simply a cat and mouse between Marie and this terrifying threat, but it works due to the soundtrack, and because both hero and villain act intelligently. How invigorating it is to have a final girl with more than 2 brain cells. For example, she doesn't just hide, she uses her very limited time to make her bedroom appear unused. And how exhilarating it is when the killer apparently knows all the tricks in the book, and starts testing the radiator temperature and sink residue. So, as an audience, you're never far from tipping off your chair, making you audibly say, "Hoof!" Nobody is safe, whether they be man, woman, animal, or child. And so it happens, neither is the audience. Since its release, and to this very day, the controversial final 15 minutes has left a bad taste in viewers' mouths. A rug pull to end all rug pulls is pulled. Jump ahead to this time frame to avoid spoilers. As the police uncover video evidence from one of the crimes, it is revealed to them, and us, the villain is not actually this unidentified hulking trucker, but Marie herself.
It's right here, Ray. It's looking at me.
I understand perfectly why most people feel cheated by this twist, and it does come off a little cheap. It is too easy to surrender to that gut reaction, that sense that the whole movie mostly didn't happen, and therefore was a waste of your time. I agree to an extent, yet at the same time, High Tension was always just a fun little thrill ride, so I don't take it that seriously. Besides, there's enough allusions to the coming twist buried within.
Got you flinching.
Marie's weird dreams where she's chasing herself, why we don't fully see the killer's face.
Mais merde, une vieille camionnette qui roule à cette heure-ci dans ce patin, c'est quand même pas difficile à repérer, non?
Marie's bouts of affection, jealousy, and rage, usually revolving around Alex, who the trucker also shared a special interest in. It explains why she's always on the back foot to this creep. and there's a few neat visual tricks too. Early on, the director establishes the common horror trope of someone jump-scaring from a mirror. Later, as Marie evades the trucker in a public toilet, it goes to set up another mirror scare. But it's only Marie, the real monster, already present. It's a fun notion to realise we've been experiencing the delusional fantasy of the bad guy, living out some deranged roleplay of both final girl and slasher. And I mean, repressed sexuality and unrequited desires are horror 101. That motivation is as classic as it gets. Here it's just draped in a more modern sheen and featuring 100% more buzzsaws. What's the problem? Is it interesting that our introduction to the supposed male killer and the scene where the fake-out really begins both centre around masturbation?
What was that, Janet? Pardon?
It's another icky detail that allows an insight into Marie's devilish fantasies. Dreaming of being a man, an overpowering, uncompromising, volatile one at that. Perhaps there are criticisms to be made against this theme and representation of gender, but at least there's a discussion to be had. Unless, of course, you want to read this and the twist as the director just jerking us off the whole time. On the disturbing scale of 1 to 5, I think the combination of the palpable tension and extreme yet digestible kills make High Tension a 3, but only just. Some of the scenes are uncomfortable and pushed to the limits, but I think the general tone maintains a sense of entertainment, which eases off some of the edge. This is especially so in comparison to certain other movies of the new French Extreme, which apparently exist only to make you sick and/or utterly fucking miserable. On the general quality scale from 1 to 5, I would rate High Tension a 4. Writer-director Alexandre Aja proved himself to be a fresh new voice in the horror scene with his effortless mastering of suspense and an obvious fearlessness. It's no wonder that Hollywood snapped him right up and set him to work on the acclaimed Hills Have Eyes remake, a very natural and savage continuation of what High Tension started.
It's breakfast time!